Hey guys, what is going on? We are about to go out and do something that I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time, which is catch a lobster other than just our Florida lobsters. We are here in California at Catalina Island and we are camping here, and our friend Adam actually drove over his 18-foot Parker from like Long Beach on California over to Catalina Island. He's anchored right off of the beach and we have been camping the last 2 days up at the top of this like mountain. So tonight what we're doing is we're gonna hop on his boat. He's gonna come up to the beach, we're gonna jump on, and we're gonna go out hoop netting for these California Spiny Lobsters. So I am very, very excited. I've obviously never done this before, but Adam does this a lot, so he's gonna give us the lowdown on everything that is going to be happening tonight. But we got Vic, and we got our friend Dylan, who's also from California, back there, so wish us luck.
During the middle of the day, we fished for leopard sharks today, and it's hot. It's like in the 80s, upper 70s. As soon as the sun starts going down, it's like in the 60s and 50s. It's the craziest temperature swings out here.
All right, guys, so we just hopped on Adam's boat, and if you guys have ever seen my videos before, you've probably seen one of my lobstering videos, and my family loves catching lobsters, and you can totally get in the water and catch these lobsters by hand as well. But you guys know that I have my own lobster net business. You're not allowed to use a tickle stick or a lobster net to catch these lobsters. You're only allowed to use your hands or to do what we're doing tonight, which is hoop netting. So no nets allowed here. And we actually bought wetsuits to dive on this trip, but didn't really have enough time to get in the water. We did a lot of fishing, and then tonight we're doing this, which is supposedly a lot more productive because they are very hard to catch during the day. They hide really well, and at night they come out to feed. So that's what we're going for tonight. We're gonna put out these hoop nets and get them when they come out to feed. All right, so something that's really cool that I learned about California is their lobsters are highly, highly regulated compared to like ours. They take so much information from all the people who have lobster licenses through something called a lobster report card. So as far as I know, we'll let Adam explain it because he is very good at doing this. He's obviously done this a few times. So
it's like a CVS.
I know, it's like a
right?
CVS receipt. Look at this.
Obviously very easy to keep on you and put in your wallet. No, I'm just kidding. So they obviously have plenty of space right here for you to put the month, the day, location code, and gear code. So that needs to be filled out before you start. So if you get caught diving or hooping, fishing for lobster at all, without that filled out, it's a ticket. So you fill out those first 4 little rectangles, and then obviously the last one, lobster retained. So this is from the opener when we went out, got my limit of 7, and that's the only time I've gone so far this season. So before we start, we're gonna fill in this here. At the bottom, it does have all of the location and gear codes. So tonight we're gonna be doing hoop net rigid. So I don't have the hoop nets that lay flat. So we're gonna do our gear codes 2. Our location code conveniently is number 1, Santa Catalina Island. So that's what we're gonna put in right there.
Today's October 10th. Location code 1, gear code 2, and then eventually we'll fill out the lobster retained. And you're allowed to keep 7 per person here. So hopefully we get to write 7 there.
Yeah, hopefully it says 7. We'll try our best. Let's do this.
Adam's gonna get everything ready and explain to you guys what we're gonna be doing. And we're gonna just idle to our first spot. So let's go.
Yeah, I'm just excited to be here. I actually didn't get my lobster report card. We've been planning this for weeks and I forgot. But we looked into the regs before coming out, and as long as I'm not assisting in any way, it's good for me to observe and come out here and have fun with the guys. That way I don't have to sit in the tent. So I'm gonna sit out here in the cold with you guys. So we're gonna have some fun.
It's also a great excuse to not do anything too.
Yeah, he caught me.
Darn, I wish I could
help.
help.
I just get to eat the lobster. Yeah.
You can't assist in that either.
Oh,
you
dang.
can't touch or smell or look at the lobster.
Not even allowed to look at them.
Well, by the time that comes, my report card will come in the mail, so I'll be eating it with you guys.
All right, so here we have our buoys for the hoop nets. There's a million different ways you can rig your gear. I'll show you the most important one that a lot of like newer or inexperienced people forget to do. Basically, it's always add a weight on the end of the line. Otherwise, the line will stay floating and you'll either wrap it up or someone driving by could wrap it up. It's extremely dangerous. Obviously, it's dark out. You won't see an extra 50, 80 feet of line just floating behind a buoy. So always add a weight to the end of the line to sink it out. and the buoy will sit like this. So what I like to do is I add a piece of reflective tape here, and then I put a weight on the bottom. You can either drill a hole and have the weight stuck in there. I just put this little piece of tape on there because, I don't know, it's easier to store them with it out. So I'll put a little piece of tape on there, keep it like that, and then I have a hole here on the top that I'll stick this glow stick in so it floats upright like this. So we have the glow stick and the reflective tape, so when I have my flashlight out, it's pretty easy to find, especially on a calm night like this. Won't be any problem there. So we're gonna have 200 feet of line going down to about 120 feet is where we're dropping the first spot. It's pretty deep, but we do have this guy right here to pull him up. We don't have to do it by hand. So we got a line hauler here to help us pull them up because we are gonna be adding weight to these, and it's not fun to pull them up from 120 feet, you know, time and time again. So we only brought 5 hoops just for space sake. It does take up a lot of room, only have an 18-foot boat and 4 people. So we got 5 traps. We're gonna try deep water first, and hopefully they're crawling out deep and we can get limits pretty quick, or at least close to it. If not, we'll try in shallower on a different spot. But yeah, so that's the basics there. We'll take a look at when we actually bait up the cages, the bait cages. We are gonna be using the bluefin that Viktor caught, the bloodlines, anything that we couldn't eat. So we'll put that in the cages, and then we also have some sardine and other stuff to kind of mix it up. We're lit! We're lit. There we go. In California, you do have what they call a Go ID number. You have to put it on every buoy that you're using. So if I were out here by myself, I could do 5 hoops, but the limit is 10 per boat. So even though we have 4 people, we can only do 10 max.
So Adam actually just started a YouTube channel, and it's called Fluent Fishing. Make sure you guys check him out. He is a local SoCal guy. He does fishing, lobstering, diving, all different kinds of things. So check him out. I will have his information linked down in the description.
So here we have our bait cage. So this one is PVC plastic. They do make like the metal ones that are a little more, I guess, rectangular. But since Catalina has a lot of sea lions, I think the Promar came out with these ones, and they are almost impossible for the sea lions to get into. The metal ones, they'll swim down there and they'll crush them, steal all your bait, and it's just a pain in the butt all night because, I mean, you set these things for 30, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour in between pulling them. If that sea lion goes down there and takes all your bait, you just wasted an hour of your time, right? So these ones are great when there's a lot of sea lions. So they just clip on the bottom right here. It sits right there on the bottom. I'm gonna put a couple of weights in this little mesh pocket here to have it sink out a little more, and make sure that it stays on the bottom. If this thing's kind of drifting around like this, the lobster don't like that kind of movement, and they'll just leave. So when you have weight and you're fishing deeper or there's current, that thing stays planted, doesn't slide around, and those lobster feel comfortable in there and just start snacking. So what we're gonna put in this one is we have all of these trimmings. They look delicious of that bluefin. So we got like the skin, the bloodlines, any of the scraps that that weren't edible. We're gonna fill these bait cages with that and turn it into lobster. So that's the plan right now. Yeah, hoop netting is definitely a little grimy, so not for the faint of heart, but
is this something that you only need to refill them like once all night long? You just fill them once and then you're good?
That's a great question. So it depends. Sometimes you will get a lot of sea lice, and those things will mow through like the bait in a couple of drops. Like literally, like sometimes you put sardines in here, there'll just be skeletons left in an hour. So the sea lice are brutal. But you know, if it's just lobster or crab or whatever, you can make probably 3 or 4 sets. So like fish it for like 2 or 3 hours without rebaiting. Just keep an eye on it. Just check them every time. Make sure if it's, you know, can be stuffed a little fuller. I like having little pieces sticking out like that. So as you can see, that was just the bluefin skin, but look at all that coming out right there. That's perfect. That's exactly what the lobsters want. They're gonna stay in this trap trying to eat all of that. It's not too exposed where they just get all the bait out real quick and bounce. They're gonna stay there and play around with it. So I'll mix it up with some skin and some bloodline on each one, and I like to just kind of mash it around in there and make sure they're nice and full. And luckily I only have to do this 5 times today because it smells great.
The first mission when we got to California this trip was to catch a bluefin tuna. We went out with Fin Fetish Charters, and Viktor caught his first ever Pacific bluefin. And like Adam said, we're using that as bait, so that's pretty cool that we got to actually catch our own bait to catch these lobsters.
6 pounds of weight in there. It's going to be below that bait cage, so just going to zip tie that up, make sure they don't slip out, because lead is expensive. All right, so pretty simple. You just clip it on right here, and then directly across on the other side. Something like that. When it's sitting on the bottom, obviously it lays like this. You can see there's a little bit of extra, I guess, slack in the net. So when you go to pull it up, it actually drops out a little bit. So those lobster kind of get stuck in there. Obviously they can shoot out, but the key is to pull it consistently the whole time. You don't want to stop, because then it'll go slack again or start sinking and allow those lobsters to shoot up and out. So the biggest thing is not necessarily pull it fast, but just a nice consistent speed. Those lobster kind of stick to the bottom there, and then once you get them up, then you start measuring. So that one's almost ready to go. Just need to tie the line on it, put the buoy on, and we'll drop it here.
How much are one of these things?
I don't know. Dylan just did the thing.
They just doubled in price this year because of the China shipping issue and shipping costs. It's about $110, $120 a net, and no fault to anyone. It's just a problem with inflation and shipping issues. But to get your full set of 10, get them rigged, everything, it's definitely not, there's more barrier to entry than there once was.
Yeah, absolutely. We're losing our light. This is kind of when they start crawling. And when you say crawling, they come out of their daytime hiding spots and start feeding. You'll hear other people refer to it as like the crawl, or they weren't crawling that night. Sometimes they just don't feed. It has a lot to do with the current, swell, moon phase. Personally, I haven't done it enough. I don't have enough notes to really pick and choose my days, and I work full time, so I just go when I can, which is probably what most people do. So I try to make the best out of the situation. Obviously, it does help to keep some notes. If the tide was the moon phase or something like that, and you can kind of make a pattern. But yeah, so right now the sun's going down. They're gonna start coming out of those daytime hidey holes, and we're gonna have these sitting there waiting for them. Just an easy meal, and hopefully find some big ones. The first one ready to drop. I got shots of 100 feet, so I'm gonna splice, I guess, tie 2 of them together. We're in about 120 feet of water, so 200 feet should be fine. Doesn't seem like there's much, a little bit of wind now, but not much current, so 200 feet should be fine. I'll keep an eye on it though. If it looks like there's a lot of drag and that buoy's starting to kind of dip under the swell, I can add another shot. Better safe than sorry. I brought enough line to do 300 feet on each one if we have to.
Nice and steady.
Yeah.
Doesn't sink as fast as you think it would.
A lot of drag on it,
yeah.
Even with that extra weight. Fifth and final one, we're gonna set this one here. It's been about 25-30 minutes, so we got another probably 15 minutes before we go check the first one, and then we can adjust where we want them to be. They're all kind of in the same depth, but sometimes some rocks hold more lobster, or they're crawling better at that rock, or I don't know. We'll make adjustments if we need to. Hopefully we only have to pull 5 and then we can go back and have a bonfire, but it's wishful thinking.
Are you excited, Brook?
I'm very excited.
Feel the anticipation in the air.
All right, here we go. Let's see if we get anything. Nothing. Not even a starfish.
Little crabs.
Not even a starfish.
Little crabs.
Is there? There's like little rocks or something.
Rocks.
That's a kelp. There's a ton of kelp down there.
Nada.
Literally nothing, dude.
Is that unusual?
Yes. Normally there's like a crab or like a starfish or something.
All right, guys. So we just pulled up the first hoop net of our third set of the night. We have not had much luck, but this one was in really shallow. It's only 30 feet here. And look, we got our first 2 lobsters on the boat. There's one. I can already tell that he's not gonna be legal. They have to be 3¼ inches to keep. So you got your lobster gauge, which right here is 3 1/4. I can already tell he's way short, but. So the way you measure a lobster is between the horns, between the eyes up here. This is called the carapace, the head, to the back of the head. And if it's bigger than 3 1/4 inches, then it's a keeper. So he's way small. He's like a 1/2 inch small. But pretty cool. Can I let him go?
Yep.
So he goes back. This one might actually be a keeper. All right. Here's our other one. Nope, he's short too.
You're kidding.
So
He's
close.
short by like, not even a 1/4 inch. You see that? So if the back of the gauge had gone like here on his head, that would be legal. But since it goes past the head, it's a short. This would be a legal Florida lobster, but they gotta be 3 1/4. Ours have to be 3 inches.
Yeah, we put some time in the deep water spots, and the current was just ripping out there, so we literally didn't even get a short. And this is our first set in the shallow water, so we got 4 more hoops to pull up shallow. So hopefully we can grind out a few legals. The conditions are pretty tough right now, but we'll
And
keep
it's
at it.
it's also very cold.
Little different
As you
than
can
Florida.
tell, very bundled up. But this one's going back as well.
Yep. See one
Yeah.
in there. Little one. Little tiny one.
Oh, that's a good one though. Never mind.
Victor just pulled that up because we're in shallow water, so you don't have to use the hauler. But 2 more. You can already tell these are going to be short because they're pretty small, but they're very pretty. It almost looks like our Florida lobster after you cook it, doesn't it?
Very red.
Very pretty.
Female. That's that noise you were talking about, right?
Yep. Same
Yeah,
antennas though, same legs. Everything.
Yeah, they look just like ours. They're just red. He's so cute.
Wow. That's the smallest one
Look
I've
how
ever seen.
cute.
It's a bee.
A little baby. What's funny is where we live in Florida, you never see small ones like this. They grow up, I guess, in like the Keys and Biscayne Bay and stuff like that. And so you never really see small ones when you're diving. But, so that's cool to see a baby lobster. Bye.
He likes you.
Come on, Brook. We need 2 keepers at least in this one.
Fingers crossed.
Nothing.
Not a good zone. They like stopped walking.
We got 2 more. Look how red this one is, huh? Beauties. Well, this was our 4th set. We have not caught a keeper yet. As far as what do you think? It's been pretty slow, Adam?
We've tried deep water, didn't get anything, so we came in shallow, tried 3 shallow spots, and we're getting some lobster, but even the shorts are pretty slim pickings. Normally, traps are a little more full than that, so we got wind against current again. I don't know if that has something to do with it, if it's the moon phase or what, but yeah, we've been out here for like, what, 5 hours, 6 hours. Just trying to get something to take home for these guys. I would love for them to be able to compare this to the lobster they have back in Florida. So we got 3 more traps to pull. Hopefully we get 1 keeper. That'd be awesome.
Come on, baby. Give me a pot of gold. Ugh. I can feel it in there. I'm not even kidding.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
There's a lobster in there. Oh my gosh.
I think this might be a keeper.
Questionable.
There's two.
Two.
Nope.
It's not even close.
I was just really excited. This one might, he's small too. Short. I could feel him when I was pulling up the net. You could feel him, like, they use this, their tail, and close it like this, as you guys have seen them do. And that's how they move. They swim backwards by slapping their tail closed like that. And I could feel them doing that in the net. So let these little guys go. We have 3 more or 2 more? 2 more? Cross your fingers, everyone. We got 2 more to go. Let's see what happens. That's something we definitely do not have in Florida, is a bunch of kelp.
You want me to pull this one? This one might be. Oh,
well, I was hoping the last one was going to have 1 keeper in it, but it was still a very, very cool experience. I'm glad I got to come out here and actually do this. Adam knows a lot about this and he's had a lot of good luck, so tonight just wasn't a good night to do it. We did get some shorts, but no keepers for us tonight. And the wind is freaking howling.
Yeah, that definitely kind of limited us to where we could fish. Obviously, we're right here in the harbor where everyone fishes. They dive, they hoop net from the mooring. So yeah, a lot of boat traffic through here. So we're hoping to score a few. As you guys can hear, the wind is absolutely ripping right now. So we would have loved to, go further up the island and explore a little more, but just not the right conditions to do so. So we just stayed safe and stayed local, and at least caught some bugs. Better than nothing.
Hey guys, welcome back to the kitchen here home in Florida. Now I know we didn't catch any legal lobsters in this video, but Adam was so kind enough to let us bring home 4 of his lobsters from his freezer. So huge thank you to him. So tonight what we're going to do is going to compare the California Spiny Lobster to our very own Florida Spiny Lobster. His lobsters were caught, I think, October 2nd. And then ours are from the opening day of our season, which was August 6th. Personally, we like frozen lobster. We think that it holds really well. We think it holds a lot better than frozen fish. We actually went lobstering today and we have fresh lobster, but didn't want to give it any one-ups or anything, so we took lobster also from the freezer. So we got all frozen lobster here. Now, I'm gonna show you guys the Florida lobster. This side's Florida lobster, this side is the California lobster. So we got 4 of each species and we just cut them in half. So as far as the look of the lobster goes, they're very similar in how they look, except for the color, obviously. So theirs are a lot darker and redder, where we got browns and yellows, and occasionally you even get a little bit of purple on the legs and things like that.
And we have spots.
And we have some spots, yeah. Viktor was mentioning that theirs are bigger than our average size because, like we had said in the video, theirs have to be 3 1/4 inches to keep, where ours have to only be 3. So you're gonna be keeping bigger lobsters there than obviously in Florida. I'm very excited to do this. I've never tried California lobster before, so tonight we're gonna put the family up to the challenge, see which one they like better. So all I'm going to do is hit them with some salt, pepper, and then we're gonna sear them slightly on the meat side and then put them on the grill, shell side down, and then just put a little garlic butter on them. So keeping it nice and simple. And here I have some melted butter, and this is just 1 head of garlic. And as these cook on the grill, I'm gonna just like spoon this on top of them. So I will see you guys out at the grill. Okay, so we are outside. We got our Camp Chef grill. We have the side burner with a cast iron skillet with some oil in it that's really hot right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a quick sear, and then after we do a quick sear on them, go into the pellet grill side and then let them finish over here. So we're gonna start with the California lobster since it's a little bigger. So here we go. So they've been on for, I wouldn't even say 2 minutes, and we got a nice sear going on them. Same thing with the Florida lobsters. We got the Cali on the grill, now going in with the Florida. Make sure we keep, you can kind of tell these ones are definitely more like red compared to the Florida lobster, huh? Can you tell which one is which on your plate, Dad?
Easy.
Okay.
Talking to Brian the Lobster King.
Oh my
How can you
gosh.
not tell?
They don't even look alike.
Smell.
They don't look anything alike.
This is California, California, Florida, Florida.
The way Brook cooked those lobsters on that Camp Chef grill, they turned out really nice. And I went for the Florida first, and then the California. My California lobster tail was a little bit larger. I'd have to give the edge to the California lobster. I thought the texture was nice. The meat was actually a little bit whiter. And I liked them both, but if I had to choose, I'd probably lean towards the California as a little bit better.
You're a traitor. Anyone else finish both of theirs? Fisher's working on it.
Yeah, they're both really good. I mean, normally I would probably put the California lobster over the Florida lobster, but that Florida lobster just cooked so well today that I might put it above the California lobster.
You tried yours, Gabby?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think?
I don't know if I'm used to the Florida lobster, but I actually really like it. Not that one is better than the other, honestly. don't know, I just like the Florida lobster one.
I'm thinking it might be a little sweeter, the California. Just a little sweeter. I like both of them, but it may be a tiny bit sweeter. Did you notice that?
No.
No?
No?
I
And
thought
you've
it
eaten a
was.
lot of lobster.
I've
You've
eaten a
more
lot of lobster. They were both good, but I thought the California was better.
Personally, it's too close to call, but all I know is who else are eating, you know, a plate full of lobster from, you know, 2 different states. I'm just super lucky for that. So thank you guys for letting me experience this. They're both fabulous. I can't put one over another.
If I were to blindfold anyone at this table, and probably anyone at all, I think you would have a very, very hard time telling the difference between the two of these lobsters. They're very similar. I honestly couldn't tell you which one I liked better. I thought they were really close. I am honestly surprised. I thought there was gonna be a big difference. I actually thought the California one was gonna blow the Florida lobster out of the water. It's colder water. These are in really hot water. And sometimes you think that a colder water fish might be a little sweeter or something. I barely noticed. Maybe if I had more and kept trying them, maybe I would finally notice a difference, but both absolutely delicious. Another giant thank you to Adam for letting us take some of these lobsters home. Huge, huge shout out to you. Again, he started a YouTube channel, just started posting recently, so if you guys wanna show him some love, Fluent Fishing, I'll have a link in the description. I'm gonna continue enjoying this delicious dinner. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Lobsterin', we're going lobsterin' in California where it's freezing.